Ever since everything is going on in LA, you have people in Los Angeles right now is calling for solidarity. And they're calling for the solidarity with, Black Americans. But I want you to check out what, these sisters have to say. But it's a group of people they're not calling for. And I got to bring that up. Let's go ahead and check this out.
I saw somebody talk about solidarity between minorities and how we need to stick together and put in the work together. If y'all don't stop trying to gaslight black people, as predominantly black women, into doing work that they've been doing, that's for y'all. Here's a message. How about y'all stop being racist? Y'all trying to act like y'all haven't been racist in the past, and now it matters that we come together. Yes, we should come together and all that, but y'all not about to act like y'all wasn't acting like them other people for years. Get on. And the other reason I don't like this conversation is because it was trying to make it sound like black people were trying to be in solidarity with other minorities. Like it was an equal thing that everybody was doing. Please, we've been on that type of time. It's just other people haven't been on that type of time.
Hey family, you see this comment by this Latino gentleman saying that they come in for them and next to coming for the African Americans. See, that's the heart of what a lot of these Latinos feel. That shows right there that they don't even care about us. Because why would you want someone else to go through what you're going through? But here's the gag. They're not ever going to do this to us again. Regardless of their motive for bringing our ancestors here, we were brought here. They wanted us here, regardless if it was for a selfish, ungodly reason. And then we built this very nation that they have benefited from. And here's the real gag, sir. We built the nation that you and your people now benefit from. So what will not and ever happen is them deporting us. Because first, you got to know where you took us from and our ancestors from. Second of all, just like the natives, we have a right to be here. You understand? So my advice to you, focus on you and yours. Don't worry about the African American, the black community, because I'm telling you, at the end of the day, we will stick together. And by any means necessary, if something jumps off and someone feels froggy and want to leap, trust and believe we are ready for it. But again, we sitting this one out. This is your fight. Now stop minding black people's business.
Yeah, it's the 2 points the sisters made. First of all, the first sister talking about solidarity. Okay. So the time for solidarity was when black folks was begging for a coalition. That was the time for solidarity. It's not that when you get in trouble, now you want it. Because, see, that means it's fake at that point. And you only want it to benefit you. You really didn't really want it because, you'd have took it in peacetime. And that's just that simple. Of course, people always trying to gaslight black people, but it's not working. Even the folks tried that mess about, you can't just sit out and while democracy is doing this. Say, no. This so-called democracy upheld the folks, and it has not never upheld us. But one thing I'm noticing, they're not asking for solidarity. Have you noticed that? They're not saying, where's the Asian immigrants at? Where are they? You notice that? There's no calls for the Asians to be in solidarity with them. Why FBAs? Another group they're not asking for, and which is very interesting, they're not asking for the Afro Latinos. Where are they at? Now, I'm going to tell you why the Afro Latinos is not out there with them. And I didn't really know this till I really started paying attention for a long while on TikTok. So Afro Latinos, they don't even want to recognize them as Latino. They could be born in Honduras, born in Panama, been there for centuries, right? Been in Mexico for centuries, and they don't even want to recognize them. When they speak Spanish to them, they're like, how did you learn Spanish? They act shocked that they can speak Spanish, and yet they've been in those homelands forever. They in Costa Rica, black people all over the place, all over the world, right? And they have been even anti-black to them, those who grew up in Latin America. And a lot of Latinos have even acknowledged that. So why would Afro Latinos come out and protest with them when they have been this way. Now, I will say this. You know me, I speak with a balance, okay? From my experiences in Texas, I'm going to tell you my experiences. I had no issues with any Mexicans at all. You know, I work with them. You know, you meet one here and there that want to be white, you know. But I never had no issues with Mexicans. I never, no beef with black people. We never got no fights. It was always cool. You know, Mexicans do their thing. We do ours. It is what it is. And I remember the first time I heard a black person say, man, Mexicans don't like black people. And I'm like, where you get that from? I said, I never had issues with Mexicans. I said, I ain't been down to the valley where they at. And I never had an issue with them. But then, so back in 2018, I went to the Taste of Soul for the first time. And I went to talk to the brothers and sisters out there, and they're like, they were just giving me the rundown on how they are treated out there by the Mexicans. I was like, wow, really? Man. And then I started looking, because you know me, I started doing my research after that point. And I started seeing what they were talking about. And they have all these gangs out there, and how they do it, a lot of times get to do the initiation on harming black people, all the different things that's been done to black people. And they just didn't do that by themselves. The Democrats in California flooded California full of illegal immigrants, no enforcement, encouraged them to be there, giving them loans, giving them this, giving them that. And this is why you have the issue you have right now in L.A. And how I feel about that personally, I believe Gavin Newsom and all the California government should be investigated to see if they were violating federal law and what they were doing. It's just that simple. Because this is utterly ridiculous, what you're seeing right now. But the black Latinos aren't out there. Because why? They treated them no different than they had treated FBAs. They had this one sister, she's a singer. I think it's her name, Sarah Morena or something like that. And she's a black Mexican and she sings the music. And you should have seen how I went to her chat. This girl could sing. And they was calling her all kind of names, saying she's not Mexican, she's black, she's this and that, and why is she singing our music? And she's Mexican. She's Mexican, grew up in Mexico. Okay? That's the kind of stuff that we're talking about. So why would the Afro Latinos come out? Why would they? I'm just saying, when they were treated in that manner. They're not calling for the Arabs who are immigrants. They're not calling for them. They're not even calling for the Africans. The Africans probably like, man, let Trump be on them. Man, they on them, they ain't on us. They're not calling for the Caribbean immigrants. No. They're only calling for FBAs. No, listen, let me tell y'all something. FBAs are not going to be your cannon fodder. FBAs not going to be your shield. FBAs are not stepping out there. And y'all have an issue with us saying that too. Listen, I know a lot of y'all feel like you're entitled for us to be I don't know, a standing army for you other groups. No, you stand out there and deal with it. That's what you got to do, okay? And then, and one thing FBAs have never done in any protest, we've never swung foreign flags. And that's what just messed your whole thing up, those foreign flags. It's just, it's crazy. I had a comment from somebody I just glanced at actually this morning. And they say, well, Phil, why are you speaking on what's going on with the white Americans and Hispanics? Because it's my country and I want to speak on it. And I can speak on it every freaking day if I want to. You understand? And also, it's my job to speak on it. I have a podcast. We report, have various other platforms. This is what I do for a living. And it's a story to talk about. And we're going to talk about it. Because FBA absence at all these events, it makes a big difference. And we get to see. We're going to see how much Donald Trump going to take it up. I'm curious to see what he's going to do. Very curious. Because what you have in L.A. is an insurgency. See, once they started waving them foreign flags, Now you're an insurgent. And see what it is, these Democrats have created an insurgency in this country. You see, you have those that came over without paperwork. Then they had children, anchor babies that was grafted into this country through the 14th Amendment. And I've seen video where those children, right, who are adults now, they're out there doing that. They say, oh, my parents came that way, or my family members came that way, or I have family members that's not, right on their paperwork. They're fighting to evade U.S. law. They're destroying things to evade U.S. law. That's what they're doing. They say their rights are being violated. You do not have a legal right. No, you don't. You don't. You may be here because of the 14th Amendment, but your other family members don't have a legal right. They just working. It don't matter. I can't go to Mexico, violate the immigration law, and I just be working over there. And then if they come and get me, I'll say, no, you can't get me because I ain't do anything. I'm just working. I did do something. I broke their immigration law. I did do something wrong. They feel that breaking our immigration law is not any kind of crime because people like Kamala Harris say that's just a civil matter. That's not really breaking a law. That's a civil matter. And when you have Democrats saying things like that in their head, it's like, oh, I ain't breaking no law. There's no law being broken. So now you have a president enforcing our law. Now he's the problem. No, he's not the problem. Democrats have been the problem, and Democrats created that mess. And I said this. I said, listen, all these people Biden and Kamala and let in here, we're going to be dealing with that problem way after they gone. And sure enough, it wasn't even a year that they gone, and we dealing with the issue and problem. But black folks can't get involved with this because no, we cannot get involved with this. It's not about even a voting situation. We just cannot get involved because how we've been treated in this country, especially how my brothers and sisters in LA have been treated, how they have been harassed, how they have been firebombed, how they have been unalived by people. Like, why would they go help you? And black people like to help people. But the reason why they're not out there helping you, because maybe it's the way you treated them. You ever thought about that?